Colleen was unfazed. "Definitely," my best friend said, turning to the doctor. "I read this article that said orthopedists can fix anything now, except maybe knees, but she didn't do anything to her knee." "Yeah," I said, latching on to Colleen's words. "I didn't break my knee, just my tibia and fibula." "Honey," Mom put a firm hand on my shoulder. "Let's not think about what may or may not happen in the future. All you can do right now is focus on healing. That's the number one thing." Dad looked at the external fixator again, cursed, and took a seat in the chair at the other end of the room, elbows on his knees. Mom squeezed my shoulder again, like I was supposed to say something back, but I had nothing. Not thinking about the future didn't make any sense to me. The future was everything, and it had only ever looked like ballet. A wave of drowsiness hit me, the anesthesia making everything hazy. At some point, I registered that my parents were whispering, and it was dark outside the window, and Colleen was gone. I closed my eyes again and felt my body dancing, revolving through the air on the tip of my point shoe, springing across the floor in quick brises. As I slipped in and out of sleep, it was hard to tell what was real and what wasn't, what was happening right now and what was a memory. But one thing was clear. In 4 months, I'd be on point again. In 4 months, I'd be in New York, dancing. November. Chapter 1. Jean-Paul Sartre once wrote, "Hell is other people." I think a more accurate statement would be, hell is other people auditioning for Eagleview High School's spring production of Singing in the Rain. Perhaps that's a touch dramatic, but since that dumb doctor turned out to be right about my leg, I had to start junior year as a normal full-time student. And, as terrible as the past 2 months had been, I hadn't, before this moment, been subjected to this. To my left, a curly-haired girl, belting, "Ma, me, me, mo, moo." To my right, a skinny guy in tight capri sweatpants, belly dancing. I spotted Margot, my life raft, near the stage of the school auditorium, sipping an iced coffee the size of her head. I wound my way through the packed aisles until I finally reached her side. "Who are these people?" I hissed. She looked at me with an expression I'd never seen on her before. Apologetic? Sheepish? But because it was Margot, it was gone in a second and replaced with a smirk. "There's no people like show people," she said. Then, sensing what can only be described as my highly disgruntled vibe, she added, "I know it seems weird, but it actually doesn't suck." I raised my eyebrow at her, still completely surprised she was into this. Margot was so fuck it all, and these people were the total opposite. I was pretty sure they fucked nothing. Then again, what did I really know about the essence of Margot? Yeah, we bonded last year in first period chem, and yeah, she was hilarious. But besides the one time she came over to help me pick out an audition song, I'd never hung out with her outside of school. Lately, I'd been too busy napping and sitting alone in my room eating entire bags of Cool Ranch Doritos to hang out with anyone. But Margot was my lifesaver at Eagleview. We had homeroom and 9th period study hall together, so I began and ended my day with her. Thank God. On the first day of school this year, I'd told Margot I would be going for the full day now because part-time online schooling only worked for kids who were pursuing professional careers in the arts, and I wasn't anymore. I warned her not to say, "Everything happens for a reason," or "Maybe it's for the best," or "When life shatters your leg, it opens a window," or any other crap like that. I'd heard enough of it already, and I didn't believe a word. But Margot had just looked at me and said, "Nah, I'm glad you broke your leg and have to go to school with us normals. Afternoons without you were kind of boring." That solidified our friendship, at least on my end.